the Giza, the whole Giza plateau was completely submerged in water, and that's what the water from the flood sheared off the limestone casing that was on the outside of the pyramids, and that's why they stopped working. But the gold caps were also stolen. But anyway, so that whole Great Flood thing, that's a whole like another theory too. But the whole, as far as the DNA stuff that I wanted to say, they did find that our last two chromosomes or whatever, they like the last two strands, they knew that we only were able to have a certain amount of them. We're only able to have 28. So basically, like, we're the only species that has DNA like this. Our last two have double the amount of information as all of the other ones, and it looks as though the last two strands have been fused together. So there's twice as much information, like genetic information and stuff in those last two strands. There's double the amount that there's supposed to be there, but it's still like allowed us to progress as a species because there is still only a total of 28. It's just that the last two hold twice the information that they're supposed to. It looks as though they were manually fused together. So it appears as though human DNA has been manipulated, and if it has been, then by who? And why is our DNA the only one that's like that?
Right, Qui-Gon, and they call that process DNA splicing. Right?
Yeah, and that actually is impossible. It does not happen in nature, at least as far as we know. It doesn't happen in nature naturally. Like, it's not a naturally occurring thing. It could only be artificial. At least that's what all the evidence suggests.
Yeah, there is an external force that modified the DNA. It could not have happened naturally. If it happened naturally, it'll be in sequence. But there is a jump in the DNA.
The missing link.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing: is that all of this information is stuff that is information that's been suppressed, that's been held out of the public eye. The stuff that they don't want people to know about. You know what I mean? It's all information that's been hidden. And it's thwarted scientific progression. We would have progressed so much more scientifically and as a species if we were just allowed to know the stuff that they've kept secret.
What you're telling me is we have a creator.
I posted those pictures.
Nice, thanks, brother.
I think that nature itself is the great creator.
Let me finish my thought, please.
The created nature.
The best way to describe it is Jack Nicholson telling Tom Cruise, "You can't handle the truth."
That's
that
right.
movie.
Yeah.
The
That's
23 chromosomal pairs, by the way. 22 plus the X and Y.
The truth is that
if we had all that information and given it to the average man or all the men and women, of course, on the planet, what do you think they would have done with it? With all that information?
nothing.
Well, it's enlightening. The more people understand that there's information that's being hidden from us, the more people will come to realize, hey, we're being friggin' lied to. Like, you know what I mean? And then people will try harder to search out. People will try harder to search out the actual truth, and then we will evolve.
No, you won't evolve. The truth is there. Gosh, if you look for the truth is there.
Exactly, but not everyone believes it.
Yeah, but the scientists, the average men like you and me, or whoever has gone into science, whoever's gone into genome therapies and research knows about this. It's just that not all of us can be Einsteins, and not everyone wants to be an Einstein either.
The great thing about facts, they don't really care who believes in them or not. They just kind of are.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good point, Deep. Like, that's freaking profound, man.
Yeah, that was good. And Qui-Gon, honestly, I really love listening to you, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I love listening to you when you talk too. You're a funny guy. Sometimes I'll just be sitting here listening to you talking, and like I'll be like, just like the way that you talk. It's not what you're saying; it's just the way that you talk and how you get excited about stuff. You're like, oh my freaking god, you guys! Like, just the way you get excited is so awesome. It makes me smile.
Honestly, if you knew me, man, I'm 45 and I've been through a lot in life, man. A lot, definitely. So yeah, I could be different.
I told you guys this before. I don't know if you guys remember or not, about President Obama.
Barry Soetoro, yeah, man.
You guys want to hear it again?
Absolutely.
I'm listening.
Sure.
During his administration, there was a request that came out of the White House to reserve prime time, 8 to 9 o'clock, 1 hour for President Obama with a news conference. And it was a major announcement. And all ABC, NBC, and CBS took that slot for the White House. Then 30 minutes before the time, they canceled it. It was supposed to be President Obama was going to disclose UFOs and ETs and aliens. Right after that, now the Pentagon, every once in a while, they release footage of UFOs and extraterrestrial machines. So
they're slowly trickling it out.
Yeah, they're preparing us. Even President Reagan at the UN mentioned it in the 80s, if you guys remember.
That's where my mind goes.
Yeah, they don't want people to be too shocked.
It's called the inductive system of reasoning. That's what that's called.
They're programming us a little bit at a time to accept the fact of aliens. And the church and the religions, I'm sure they're having.
Okay, so now what do we do? You know, they're real. Here they are. They've made their presence known. So what's next? What do we do?
We need
$20 million wallet to wallet Bitcoin transfer. That just happened.
Sorry, my push to talk is fucked up. We need their tech. We need their technology. It's imperative. We need them to teach us what the hell we're doing wrong.
No. If aliens wanted us, they would have taken us long time ago. They don't want us.
Yeah, we have nothing that they want, and they don't want us.
They want the gold.
About to say that.
Yeah.
We are here to find the gold, the most precious and valuablest thing in the world. It's gold.
Now, hold on. Elon Musk and them talking about bringing an asteroid to Earth that's just fully gold. I can't remember exactly how much it weighs, but it's like 5,000 tons or something like that. I don't think they're coming from the gold, man. It could be.
The reason why gold is so valuable is because it can only really be formed within the heart of a dying star. Like a star has to go supernova to create the amount of force that it takes to forge gold. Like, so all the gold that exists on Earth originally came from the center of a star that exploded.
Stars die all the time, no?
Gravity.
Right.
Yeah, but they're real far away though.
Right, but check this out. I'm opposed.
It'll take a while for gold to get to us.
I'm opposed to the non-general, right?
About that actually that it's just for light, still traveling.
Hey, your idea of fire might be a lot different than aliens.
We need a
Yeah, that's true, but
they actually want.
When it is created,
they actually want to help us and guide us, and don't let us destroy ourselves and destroy the universe with these nuclear bombs.
Agreed.
Yeah. If they wanted to invade us, we would have been gone. They could have vaporized the planet. We would have been gone. If they wouldn't have even invaded us, we would have just been gone in the blink of an eye. So obviously they're not here to kill us.
Yeah, they would get rid of us in a New York minute. But they're here to help us and guide us.
Yeah, but the thing about the gold is that there's only
we don't even know. We don't even know.
There's only so many stars in the universe. Like a star actually has to go supernova for it to happen. Not all stars, when they die, the star has to be big enough for it to go supernova, and then when it does go supernova, it explodes with such force that it sends fragments of those precious metals in all directions throughout the universe. So like, there's no way to tell like where they would end up. So that's why it's so precious.
Bro, I'm gonna find that article and I'm gonna post it in Non-General. And they literally have a huge asteroid out there, and there's several of them. If you look into this, because I'm deep into this alien stuff. Yeah, I don't gold, man. I don't know.
The fact that gold even landed here. Yeah, we should. The fact that gold even landed here and that there's any gold on planet Earth at all is incredible. Like, because the chances of that happening on a planet that also was capable of inhabiting complex life and that life surviving. Like, I mean, the moon, if the moon wasn't there, we wouldn't have survived and evolved. Like, you know what I mean? If we weren't this distance from the sun, if we didn't have water, if we didn't have tectonic plates, if we didn't have the Earth's core, the magnetic field, everything aligned perfectly for us to be able to survive here. Like, so Earth is pretty unique. Not a lot of planets are like Earth. But the fact that we also got gold here, yeah, that we know, true. But like the fact that we also have gold and silver and all kinds of other precious metals here too, like this is it appears to be an important planet. Like, you know, if I was an alien, I would say, okay, Earth is an important planet because it's unique. Like, there's not too many like Earth. You know what I mean? So if anything, their interest, that would be my reason for thinking that they have some sort of interest in Earth and in us, but they don't know how to communicate with us because it's like, how the hell would you communicate with a being that's like just doesn't understand, you know?
That's kind of biased though. It's kind of biased thinking that this planet is special. Like, it's very possible that there is a bunch of exotic matter that we don't even know about throughout the universe, and we have maybe 1% of it, and maybe there's planets out there with 10% of the exotic matter on it. You know what I mean?
That's not even
Yeah, like, that's true. That's true. But like, how? I mean, why? If this planet? Okay, like, I'm not saying that this is the only planet that is like this that can support complex life or that complex life can inhabit. I'm just saying that there's not too many as far as like how huge the universe is. There's not too many that are like Earth. And I mean, the fact that there appears to be craft coming and observing us says that there's something interesting about this place. Like, you know what I mean? There must be something interesting or something special. Otherwise, they wouldn't care. We wouldn't see them.
Bro, they've done studies on this. There's several other planets that's just like ours. But what y'all know about element 115, since y'all want to talk about rare metals and rare things?
Bob Lazar, homie. Bob Lazar, bro.
D Block, where did you post that picture? Is he there?
Bob Lazar talked about 115. I think he put it in random non-general. But Bob Lazar was talking about element 115, like in the 70s, and was saying that he worked at Area 51. He took a lie detector test. They said he wasn't lying. Like, you know, like that whole element 115 thing. And then they come out with it like 30, 40, what was it, like 40 years later, they came out with a new element on the table and called it unpentium. I think it was even more than 40 years later. I think it was like 50.
He came out with all of that in like the 80s, I believe that interview is when he did that. And then it just came out, I want to say in 2016 or 2015 or something like that. As far as if y'all were talking about that picture of the asteroid, that was me. I'm about to post it in a second. I got too busy talking about this because I love this stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know if like, I'd like to say I would think it has been 50 years, but I don't know if Bob Lazar is that old. Like, he would be, that might make him too old for it to have been 50 years. So maybe it was like 30 or 40. But still, a long time ago he was talking about this thing, and then they just come out with this element and put it on the table. Like, you know what I mean? The periodic table, like, as if it's no big deal.
Correct. They just can't find a stable. They don't have a stable form of it yet. But supposedly that's how they power the reactor. Yep. Yeah, right. Well, it came out. I mean, he'd been talking about it for a while, so it came out of nowhere to everybody else.
Yeah, Bob was talking about how they injected one particle of 115 into basically a miniature particle accelerator, where it then collided with one particle of antimatter, which created a chain reaction, and that's how the propulsion system for the craft worked. Like, I don't know. Apparently, I have no idea. That's sort of the way that he explained it was like a tiny nuclear reactor that powered the spacecraft, but it was actually antimatter, which is like the opposite of matter, which is like so volatile that it could like destroy the fabric of time and space. Like, if it was it's so unstable that if it's not like maintained and if it's not contained properly and under the right conditions, then it could destroy like the fabric of time and space. So apparently they had this crazy complex thing, and it was like they injected a particle of 115 that was the only thing that worked, that would react with the antimatter in a way that caused the nuclear reaction or whatever that that would propel the craft. It created it generated the energy that was needed to propel the craft. Rather, that's what his story is.
Hey, Turbo, he put it in memes.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you. I was looking for it everywhere.
Who's seen that alien
Antimatter
autopsy video?
isn't antimatter used in like PETs, like in the medical field? Whoever is the doctor here.
Antimatter? I mean, it's
Yeah.
sort of like a theoretical.
Ask
It's
Yeah, it is.
in mainstream science. It's sort of like a
Ask me again what that
theoretical
question was.
idea.
No, antimatter is not theoretical. It's already been proven. It exists.
Yeah, antimatter exists. It's been actually generated, but it's not been able to be contained or stabilized, so it immediately
sure?
degenerates. Yeah, they've made antimatter. They've proven the existence. They've actually created it, but they didn't have an ability to contain it or stabilize it long enough for them to really study it, because it immediately degenerates into. Basically, it cancels out with matter. So.
Because it's so unstable. Like
Sounds
unless
theoretical
there's
to
some
me.
sort of
No,
Yeah.
it's proven. It's actual. It exists. They've done it. They've generated antimatter, but
they can't see it or measure it or like
no, they
whatever.
can.
I don't
They
know. I
can't.
mean,
You can't
They
see
can-
it because it's so minute. You know, it's
Well,
literally
what kind-
atomic
They've-
antimatter, but it's
What-
just
what kind of-
atoms.
They've
What
done
kind
it
of-
at CERN
okay,
in
if-
Switzerland, where they've got this massive collider, which is about 15
Yeah,
kilometers
that's a
long.
hadron collider. Yeah, that's
The particle
hadron
accelerator.
collider. Yeah.
Hadron Collider, and they've got it. But to understand it simply, electron is a minus charge, and a positron or a proton, don't use the word proton, it's different, is antiparticle. They're antiparticles to one another, and it's part of still ongoing research. But they believe that the universe was built on the collision of matter and antimatter. And fortunately,
Not likely, because if that was the case, then there wouldn't be any matter in
fortunately,
existence. It would just
that's right.
disappear.
That's right. But they say fortunately that what's left behind is more matter and
It's
not
the
antimatter.
imbalance.
That's still in research. That's exactly what happened apparently. But all these are theories, not proven yet.
Yeah.
But they have isolated antimatter. Apparently.
Yeah, PET scans. Yeah, they use antimatter.
Yeah, that's but it's like a
PET
brief.
scans, PET scans use electrons. Which is gonna
Yeah, I don't know whether
minus
you
charge.
have actually positron emission, but it's very difficult to think of it as positronic, because
Yeah, it's
that's
positron
just
emitting isotopes.
it's dangerous though, because Stephen Hawking has said, if you meet a person, your twin, a fellow human being, and he's made of antimatter, don't shake his hand, because he'll disappear in a flash of light. And
Yeah, but antimatter is in tiny amounts is rained down on us now through like cosmic rays and stuff like that. It's like basically the size of what is it, the innards of an atom.
Yeah, electrons and protons.
well, I mean,
Anyways,
to tell you the
guys,
truth,
I don't think we have anything to
anyway,
worry
let's
about.
cut this off.
We don't have anything
Go
to
ahead.
worry about when it comes to aliens. I think they're here to protect us, not to harm us.
How do you know, man?
Guys, this conversation needs.
I'm married
They
one.
want-
I'm going to start banning or muting people if this continues.
I think Doge is going to get up to 30. It's going to bounce back. I mean, it was like 62% last time, man, when it dipped down. That 18 is such a psychological support level.
That is what the seeming like, though, huh?
Do you have any charts to back up your theories?
I want $30 Doge, not 30 cents Doge.
Looks like the 5 minutes about to have a death cross.
So, is it true that when the Doge accrues in value, the staking rewards start coming back higher, or not necessarily? And if they're staking of coins, and I know I've asked this before, but staking of coins means they're shorting the people buying the coin, borrowing the coin from you, are shorting it, right? So that, in essence, could be a vicious cycle, causing it to lose value. Am I right?
What?
What I'm saying is, when you stake, right, when somebody buys the coins from a staking pool, right, borrowing it or whatever, and then they sell it at this, shorting it, right? In essence.
Biscuit, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, dude, that's correct. That's what
Meeting
happens.
And then
my
when you
A lot of places do with your shares of your stock too. When you're holding
so
shares of your stock, you have to make sure that it's not available to be borrowed, because if you allow your platform to like lend out your stocks, then that makes it available for someone to borrow to short it.
and then when they short it, they'll sell it for less than what it's worth, and then you lose equity, right?
You guys have a good one. See you later. Cleo.
I mean, it depends on if that person makes a good trade or not. I don't know.
All right, Cleo boy.
Yeah, man.
I think I need to YouTube it and find out and understand it exactly.
When you stake coins, don't worry about what they're gonna do with the coins. Worry about the percentage and what kind of staking it is, because there is, I think, two types where where one is you keep the coins as is, and another one you might have the chance of decreasing your coins. This is what we found out on Binance Global, but anyway, it could be different on Coinbase. What you
Well, let me
need
ask
to
you
worry,
this.
don't complicate it. Worry about the percentage. I'm giving them 500 coins every month. They're gonna give me 2 extra coins for them, and I can take them off the table whenever I want. That's the only thing you should worry about.
So I'm Doge on Gemini is pretty safe, right? Safe at 7.4% staking returns.
I will look at.
If I can get more coins that way by not have to buy any, that'll be that'd be really cool. Biscuit, please
I'm
continue.
doing Google.
Biscuit.
I'm doing the Googling on your behalf.
Oh, thank you
that's
for
really
Googling.
nice.
Thanks for the Googles.
So if you you give them, if you give them $5,000 worth of Dogecoin, after a year they will give you $370 in profit, because it's 7.40 API. ABY, sorry.
That
I'm
I
a
cannot
developer.
complain about. I can't complain about that.
So they say redeem your asset at any time, no hidden fees. This is the same as we do in Binance, which is called flexible staking. That means you can take your coins off of the staking anytime you want, and you will also claim whatever. So you did not finish the whole year. You finished 6 months. You will still get 150-ish something dollars, half of the whole year.
I don't think I can make 6 months this year because I only staked it.
You can also stake stable coins in case you're worried that that coin is going into a downtrend. You don't want to sit in coins. Yeah, it looks like straightforward staking. There is no liquidity pool or swap or whatever. Don't worry about what they do with the coins. All you have to worry about is how much am I getting, and can I take it off the exchange whenever I want. And Gemini seems like they're doing both.
Has anybody thought of creating a staking pool for themselves, or is that forbidden subject on this?
We can barely figure out trading.
Yeah, I think that would take a lot of organization.
Tame the Ark, how about you? Have you considered starting your own staking pool? You seem to know what you're doing.
Hey man, I'm light. I'm just here to help out and provide help when I can. Tame's gonna be on later today doing live TA, so I'm just here to make sure the conversation stays where it needs to stay. But if I could, and I could be like one of these guys in these networks who are collecting a little kickback from every coin that's staked, you know, that would be a dream. Honestly, I would love to have my own network and definitely not be a guy who makes it for a joke and now is looking back at his child being more successful than him.
I hear ya.
Are you in
Light,
reference to Doge?
Light, I'm really sorry about taking the conversation so off topic and derailing it so far. I apologize.
$13 million transfer from Binance to Binance.
Man, we've all gone down the rabbit hole. It's like I said, these conversations are okay because there's clearly people on here who love them in the YouTube. But again, a nice little blip here and there is great. But honestly, that was going on for almost 2 hours, so I had to put a stop.
Yeah, sorry about that,
I hear
man.
ya.
You asked more than once, so we pushed it. So thank you for you know.
Thank you for wrangling us in.
Thank you for being merciful and yes, and for reining us in. Like we needed that.
Yes, I agree. Thanks for being merciful, brother.
And thanks
Now
for
you-
being here and everything that you do to maintain the Discord and everything and the YouTube and all that too. You do a great job, so thanks for that.
Yeah, and
Appreciate it,
anyone else
guys.
that contributes, I wholeheartedly appreciate anyone that does anything for this channel because it really has been a game changer. So I appreciate it so much.